Hello everyone, Jason back here with another video. I just wanted to talk about something I've been noticing a little bit more lately. Everywhere I go, I've been traveling, living in a tent, traveling the country for the past several months now, since October. And I've been noticing everywhere I go, there's fast food. Like literally, you go to the tiniest town and there's nothing there. There'll still be a fast food. If there's anything in the town at all, there's going to be a fast food. There might only be a gas station and a McDonald's or Taco Bell or a Wendy's. And then I go to the bigger cities and there's fast food everywhere, like on every single corner, and there'll be like 5 or 6 or 7 or a dozen fast food joints just lined up on the street, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, it shows, obviously, that Americans live on fast food. Otherwise, there wouldn't be fast food joints everywhere, and it's kind of sad because hopefully people are aware how bad this stuff is for you. It's literally poison. People are poisoning themselves with, some of the things that have been found in the fast food, besides excess salt and sugar and just excess amounts of fake meat, processed meat, red meat, whatever the case might be, extra grease on the fries and all that. But there's like propylene glycol that's used in antifreeze and deodorant and stuff like that's actually in some of these fast foods. And I think silicone is in some of the pizzas, fast food pizza, in the cheese. Same stuff that's used in breast transplants. So it's really gross and disgusting, and the information's out there everywhere. You just do a quick Google search or DuckDuckGo or any search engine really, and you'll find it. It's not that hard. There's the Supersize documentary that illustrates this. The guy went on the diet of eating just McDonald's, and after 30 days he was literally dying. He gained 25 pounds and he was puked out his window and at times, and the doctors kept tabs on him and says it was horrific. And that's just one example. It was destroying his liver, which filters the body. So it's just ridiculous. The information's out there, and so it's not that there's a lack of information. We've got the internet, and there's so many books have been written on it too. So I'm not going to go into all the details of all the stuff that's in there, but it's poison. It's literally, people are eating poison, and it's everywhere. It's obviously a staple of this society to live on poison, and so it's no wonder that we have such a problem with chronic disease and obesity and cancer and all these epidemics. Not to mention, just think about the amount of how much fast foods supports the horrific factory farming industry of animals. It's got to be a huge chunk of the factory farming is being supported by these fast food joints, by the amount of meat they use. And look at some of their slogans, like Wendy's, their burgers fresh, never frozen. Who buys this crap? How can it be never frozen and yet they can still serve you a burger? What about a Wendy's in the city far, far away from where the beef's coming from? How do they get that beef and have it still be fresh and not rotten by the time it gets into their Wendy's, let alone onto your plate? So they're not trustworthy. You can't trust them to tell you the truth about what's in their food. They're all about money. They don't care about your health. If anything, they might actually care about your health to the degree that they actually want you to be unhealthy. Possible. It's quite possible. Look at the pharmaceutical industry that's profiting off of this epidemic that's being caused by fast food. And it's not just fast food. It's junk food everywhere. Even people that aren't eating out at these fast food poison joints are still poisoning themselves constantly. It's really sad down here in Arizona where I'm at currently. Been here a couple weeks now. I was in the grocery store at one of the nearby cities, and I saw a couple. It didn't really look too healthy. The lady was in some kind of wheelchair, motorized wheelchair of some sort, and just really overweight and just not looking too great. even for their old age, I've seen much healthier, and it's just sad. And I noticed what they're got in their cart. They've got, like, I think had to have been 6 to 8 different 6-packs of soda, like Mountain Dew and Coke. That's poisonous too. It's just loaded with caffeine and sugars and all sorts of other things. And I remember back in the day watching a little documentary on Coca-Cola and how it's manufactured in the factories, and I don't think I ever drank Coke again after that. It's really disgusting how this stuff is made. Anyway, won't go into the details on that either, but it's poison. All these sodas are poisonous. It's not good for you. It's killing us. And so anyway, they had also, besides just their cart was loaded down, had to have been 36 to 48 sodas, little, I don't know what size they were, just an average soda. They weren't cans, but bottles of soda. And then they had 2 6-packs of beer, which is also poisoning the brain, killing brain cells. I mean, in moderation, it might be okay, but it is a poison. So there's that. And then they had, what did they have for their food besides all this poisonous drinks? They had a big, giant stack of frozen, processed TV dinners, something like Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes or something. But just really sad, because it's just so obvious that this is what's causing the epidemics in all the different chronic diseases: diabetes, heart disease, cancer, obesity, all of it, so much more, just so much. It's ridiculous, and most of it stems back to diets that are just horrendous. How could anyone in their right mind eat such junk food on a regular basis and just drink soda nonstop and beer, and then have a frozen meal that doesn't have any fruits or vegetables at all? I mean, at least if you're just going to have an unbalanced diet, at least have what you have out of balance, have it be healthy. But even people that eat the so-called healthier diets, how many of those people are eating non-organic foods, even fruits and veggies? And those have been, even grains, they've been sprayed with pesticides and herbicides, and those are filled with poison. And it's so hard to escape the poisons that are just being pumped into our environment, and especially into our food supply, but also all those pesticides seep into the water supply. And so it's no wonder that people are this unhealthy, and it's just sad to see how widespread it is, and that this McDonald's, or McDeath's is more accurate, and they're everywhere, and Wendy's and Taco Bell, and how many, just the sheer amount of different chains covering this country, poisoning society. And that's just the physical. And like, people buy these frozen TV dinners and go home, and especially these old retired people like the ones I saw at the store, they go home and they're just watching their TV all night, getting their daily dose of programming. It's probably programming them to buy what they're buying. And if nothing else, they're getting their daily dose of fear, because that's what the mainstream news does. And it's been shown recently that that's really the base of, CNN, Fox News, all the fake stream media, the big corporate media chains. They're all, their listener base and their TV base, anyone that pays, really, the only reason they're in business is because of old people. It's the only people really left that take them seriously. And so it's all these old people buying all this junk food and dulling their minds with TV, getting pumped up on fear and division, and buying into the two-party system. And they're so scared of this new threat, that new threat comes today, gone tomorrow, but they pump it up, and everyone's just full of fear. And that even affects us physically. The fear hormones in our body are keeping our body from being able to do its natural healing. So not only are the majority of society poisoning ourselves with our diet, also our mental diet is inhibiting our body from healing what it could do naturally. So it's just the whole society. It's like it's by design almost. And then there's the water supply, got fluoride and chlorine in the water. There's so many detrimental health problems caused by fluoride. I mean, it's a poison. It's an industrial waste that they needed to throw away, and they managed to convince municipal water to put it in municipal water supplies. They convinced the city governments and county governments and whatnot to do that back in, I think, the 40s, 30s, I forget exactly, but back around World War II days. Same time factory farming exploded, same time TV exploded. Pretty much this whole system based on really just the overconsumption of really poisoning our entire world. It started back then, but anyway, a little bit off tangent there, but it's just ridiculous, and there's so much information out there, and it's just amazing that people are either unaware or they just don't care about their own health. And I mean, it costs a lot of money to take care of these diseases, and the pharmaceutical companies have all these pills they give you, and you got to spend all this money to fix the problem that you created. Really, they created, but you bought into it, and you fed yourself with this poison, and now you got this going on, and they don't actually solve the problem. They just treat the symptoms, and then one pill has bad side effects, so they give you another pill. And it happened to my grandma, and she was on 20-some pills before she finally died, and it's horrible. And the pharmaceuticals, they want you to keep poisoning yourself with fast food. I'm pretty sure the big food and the big pharma are in bed together. They profit off of each other. If the one wasn't poisoning society, the other one wouldn't be able to be pumping you full of addictive drugs that also don't get to the root of the problem. They don't. They just treat the symptoms, if they even treat them at all. I mean, often they do, but often they really don't treat the symptoms that great either, and often the side effects are worse than the benefits, and on it goes, pill after pill after pill to treat the side effects of the pill before it, and it's just the way it is. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really sad that the information's out there and people are so stuck in this, and I can only imagine it's because of all the advertising and all the brainwashing on TV. I think on average people watch 7 hours of TV a day, and the retired people watch more. It's like 8 or 9 hours. Goes up, they say, the retired people watch even more programming, brainwashing, indoctrination by the big corporations that, of course, want you to spend all your money on drugs and junk food. So I've just been noticing that a lot lately, so figured I'd make a little video on it. Don't really know what good it's going to do, because I think most people already have access to this information, and they know about it. They don't care about their bodies. They don't care about their mental health either. And so it's just like the fluoride. I mean, it dulls your brain. It makes you more... They used it in Nazi studies. It's a rat poison, sodium fluoride. That's the fluoride that we're given. And it's so poisonous that they've even make you put warnings on your toothpaste. And chlorine... I mean, look at a swimming pool. Why is there chlorine in our water? We go to a swimming pool, and there's signs next to the pool, don't swallow the water because there's chlorine in it, and yet they give it to us and tell us to swallow it, and it's for our benefit. So it's just a bunch of nonsense. It's everywhere you go, and I guess if get the word out that this is killing us, and really the answer is not free health insurance. The answer is eating a healthy diet. Really, that's the solution to so much of the sickness that's so rampant in our society, is just eating a healthy organic diet. Get off of red meats, and really all meat if you can. Don't support such horrible factory farming conditions, and just eat fresh whole foods, organic food as much as possible, and then we wouldn't need all the people to spend your hundreds of dollars on health insurance that might not cure the disease that you're giving yourself. You could save all that money and spend it on healthy organic food. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to touch on today. So just really sad. It points to the fact that I don't know how else to describe it. It's America. It's just a society of death. It's built around death, and hopefully one day will change.